Ukrainian official recently claimed that Russia is using its S-300 long-range surface-to-air missiles to attack land targets in Ukraine. The governor of the Mykolaiv Oblast, Vitaly Kim, said on his Twitter handle on July 8 that Russian forces are conducting frequent rocket attacks and using repurposed S-300 missiles equipped with GPS navigators to hit ground targets. Kim further said that 12 missiles were fired by S-300s in a land attack role, while noting that despite the missiles being equipped with GPS, they are inaccurate. That said, Kim did not specify which version of the S-300 was used by the Russian forces for land attack purposes. Both Russia and Ukraine are known to operate the S-300P series on 16-wheeled chassis and the S-300V series that uses a tracked chassis in the ongoing Ukraine war. While it may be surprising, the S-300 does have surface-to-surface capability, about which very little is known. There have been documented instances in the past of S-300s used by the Russian military for ground attacks during exercises. Even the Belarusian army has reportedly practiced using the system to hit stationary ground targets. The most recent instance of this was in May 2017, when the Air Defense Forces of Russia's Eastern Military District had used the S-300 system during an exercise in Khabarovsk to destroy targets imitating armored vehicles of the enemy, as per a report by the state-owned RIA Novosti. The S-300 air defense system is capable, if necessary, of carrying out combat launches of missiles at ground targets, receiving their coordinates from reconnaissance units of the ground forces, reported RIA Novosti. Before this, Russia's Southern Military District had also referenced the ground attack capability of S-300 in a press release about a tactical exercise in 2011 of the Aerospace Defense Brigade at Ashulik Training Ground in the Astrakhan region. Combat crews of the S-300 air defense system made 14 launches of guided missiles, hitting the Kaban 2 and Pishchul targets at a considerable distance, as well as ground targets in the conditions of the created situation, as close as possible to the Combat 1, SMD said in a press release. 2 months later, a more detailed account of the S-300's ground attack role was provided by a Belarusian media outlet, Navani, which reported that the developers initially incorporated the capability of hitting stationary ground targets into the design of the S-300 air defense system adopted for service in 1979, as well as all its subsequent modifications. Back then, Belarus was known to operate the S-300PS version of the system, introduced in the mid-1980s, which included 5 V-55R missiles that had a maximum range of up to 90 km against airborne targets. Navani reported the maximum engagement range of the system against ground targets as 120 km. The Navani article described that for most of their flight path toward the target, the S-300 missiles rely on the onboard inertial system that uses the target's coordinates before the missile launch and is updated during the flight via radio link. In contrast, the missile uses semi-active radar homing in the terminal phase. The ability to destroy ground targets is retained even in the S-400 air defense system, according to Navani. It remains unknown why Russia is using the S-300 system to attack ground targets in Ukraine. According to an expert, the S-300 is one of the oldest air defense systems in the service because Russia might have a surplus of aging rounds that would be better suited against stationary ground targets than engaging airborne targets. Russia considers the S-300 an older, less capable SAM system now that the S-400 has been fielded. That said, Russia most likely has a larger number of S-300 missiles in their inventory, costs less, and can be used to target areas versus point targets, Colonel David Shank, former U.S. Army Air Defense Artillery School commander, told the media. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can be alerted to our next video. We'll see you again soon on Warzone.